What is going on, sports fans? It is your main man, Matt Bellman from the DFS 5-Pack, rocking it solo here on Saturday, March 3rd. My partner, Ryan, he's got a wrestling tournament all day. I know it's the end of the wrestling season, and his son's got his last meet, so he's tied up all day, so I figured I'd get on here early and run through a dual video today. So normally we do a public video and a members-only video a little bit later on. I'm going to combine the two today and just go game through game on here and give you guys in the public a little more info than we usually do. Nice 7-game slate tonight. Hopefully everyone had a good night last night. I know the 5-Pack crushed it. It was tough because I couldn't fit Elf, Russ, and Booker. But the 2 of the 3 were really good, and DeAndre Jordan was really good. Trey Burke and Siakam were not so good. We still made it over the 300-point mark, so we're looking to continue that momentum into today. Don't have spots like we did last night that I am in love with, but I think that there are a couple different ways to go. So let's just pull up screen share real quick in DraftKings and start going through it. So like I said, we'll go game by game on here and just go a little bit deeper than we usually do. I think it's can give you guys a little taste of what we do on the members only videos. So starting with Memphis, Orlando, much better DFS game here than NBA game. Obviously these two teams are bad. I like the way Orlando played last night. I was impressed how hard they played. I thought they played really well. I think it speaks more to how Detroit ended up winning that game. But, hey, we'll take it. Orlando doesn't win too many games. It was their first win since the break. So starting from the Memphis side, it's hard right now because we don't know about the injuries. If Harrison – Evans is probably going to be out. I don't see him playing. But if Harrison is out again, I do think you can go right back to Chalmers. I don't think he's a must. We just saw him throw up 28. He played – how many minutes did he play last night? Played 33. So he played 34 minutes. Tough loss for Memphis. I was actually surprised they kept it so close with Denver playing tonight. I figured Denver would want to run away with that game. Chalmers played all right. This is who he is. If he's going to play 35 minutes, though, I do think he's still in play here. Sure, there's a price increase, but for his role right now, he's still priced fine, probably too cheap. So he's a guy I'm definitely looking at from the Memphis side. Obviously, we have to wait on injuries. Let's see what's up with J. Michael Green. Obviously, these guys that were out last night, they haven't updated yet, so we're not sure. If Jim Michael Green misses, Jerome Martin's fine with me at 4.7. I think he's fine. I think he's I think you can play him anywhere. I probably like him more in cash, but at 4.7, when guys are 4.7 and going to play a lot, I think you can play them anywhere. I think this could be a game, Memphis and Orlando. Both these teams are bad. Orlando gets up to play, better teams, but they don't get up to play bad teams. So I wouldn't be shocked if Memphis won this game. I got interest there. We just have to wait and see, just depending on the injuries, because a lot could change. If Harrison is in, it takes Chalmers completely out of the picture. Don't mind looking at him, but we got to see what the injury status is. So until we know more, it's only about 10:15 Eastern right now. Just can't really dive into too much Memphis. From the Orlando side, man, my boy AG balled out last night. I seem to pick his spots nicely. I could tell on his game log that he was due for a game like this. Doesn't show monster upside often, but showed it last night. Looked really good. 55 DK points. I don't mind running right back to AG here. He's a guy that I obviously like a lot. Won me a ton of money earlier in the season. He's still not, too expensive in my opinion. I'm fine with Gordon here. I really am. I like the way he played last night. Do I expect him to get 50 again? No. But would I be shocked? No. From the cash side of things, I think you can look at Evan Fournier like always. I was impressed by the way he played last night. He made a couple real clutch shots. I mean, yeah, he's right. He's hovering cash game value almost all the time. So I'm more than fine with Fournier in cash games. Also like the way DJ Augustine played last night. Now, take that with a grain of salt. He's not a guy that's going to get 40 that often, 29-5. Is he in play? Sure. Choosing between Augustine and Chalmers here, I got to say that if Harrison and Selden and those guys are all out, Chalmers is the better cash game play. But Augustine is the better NBA player as far as I'm concerned. So if you told me Augustine outscored him, I wouldn't be surprised. I think you can make the case for Augustine in GPPs, but not somewhere you have to go by any means. Vooch, finally coming off a really nice game. He looked really engaged last night. I think this might be the time to hop on Vooch because he's still cheap. I mean, he's real cheap tonight. Not sure how they'll handle the back-to-back, but unless I hear anything that takes me away, I like Vooch quite a bit here. Again, this is a game I think you can pick pieces from. I'm not going to do a full-out game stack here, but I like a bunch of pieces here. And I could see myself if I did 2 GPP lineups today using Vooch in one and Gordon in the other or something like that. No, on his own, yeah. No. Yeah, so that's pretty much all I'm looking at from this game. Again, we have to wait and see what's up with Memphis with their injury status. So, until we find out more, it's really hard to get a great gauge on this game. Looking at Denver, Cleveland, man, good game. Real good game from an NBA perspective and from a DFS perspective. I'm fine with Bron today. From my side of the coin, the GPP side, I don't think anyone's hardly ever a must, 11, 10K plus. LeBron's in a damn good spot here against Denver, a game I'm sure that Cleveland will want to win after getting embarrassed on national TV against Philly. Well, not embarrassed considering how they played earlier in the year on national TV, but a loss at home nonetheless, in a game that they just got outplayed. I could definitely see using Bron here. Other than that, from the Cleveland side, man, it's really hard to choose guys because you just don't really know their pecking order. Obviously, you've got J.R. Smith coming back from the suspension, so who knows what's up with him. I've been waiting. I've been wanting to say that for a couple of days now, so finally got it out of my system. I like what Nance does, but am I running to go there? No. I do think he's in play, so if you want to go there, sure. Then you've got like the rest of the Cleveland pecking order. I think if you want to choose guys from here, you can, but I don't have a distinct, this is the way you need to go. From the Denver side, I think a bunch of guys are in play. I think this could be a nice bounce back spot for Jokic. We've seen the price come back down from when he was in the 10s. We know his upside. We know how good he is. So if you want to play Jokic, I'm fine with it. Jamal Murray, the ultimate GPP guy. Do you think this is like Jamal Murray night? Go for it. My man Will the Thrill, playing some damn good ball recently. Price is definitely up there. I'm fine with Barton also. I'm fine with a lot of these guys from Denver. I'm also fine with Millsap here. I mean, Price just really cheap. Played really well last night. Interested to see what his back-to-back status is in terms of how much he'll play. But again, like Vucevic, unless I hear something that takes me off him, that price is just way too cheap. Gary Harris, playing really well right now. A guy I'm always fine to play in cash games. I'd go elsewhere in GPPs. That's just me. I don't think he offers the upside that we really want. Wilson Chandler, not surprisingly, Millsap's back. So a lot of these guys on the side are going to see their numbers drop down. Yeah, so that's really who I'm looking at from the Denver side. Jokic is in play always. Barton's in play. Murray's a GBP guy. Harris and cash. And I'm really looking at Millsap. I think Millsap's a rock-solid guy in any format here. Detroit, Miami. And just on that Cleveland-Denver game, I think it's actually going to be a really close game. So I think you can definitely choose pieces from there. Not a game I'm avoiding. But there's other good spots too, so I'm not going to game stack that game either. Although if you wanted to run a mini stack there, use like a Bron and then a Millsap and Barton, I'm more than good with that. Looking at Detroit, Miami, I'm not looking at too much from this game. I think Dragic is in play here. I like him better in cash games. He's in play from the Heat side for me. Whiteside, I did not like the way he played last game. Now, they got ran out of the building against the Lakers, so can't take too much into it. But we know what happens when he gets into funks. Don't love Whiteside here. I like the price, but don't love him. D Wade just playing some damn good ball. He was in the 5-pack when they played the Lakers. I just love the way this guy's playing right now. So depending on the injury status of Tyler Johnson, who's doubtful today. Let me see about Wayne Ellington. He's doubtful also. D Wade's a top play again. I mean, I just love the way he's playing. You got to think Miami's going to want to bounce back in a big way today. I like Wade quite a bit. Jay Rich also in play. Very similar to Wade. To me, I think he's playable in either format. Like him more in cash. He's just that consistent cash game guy. A lot of Miami pieces still in play. Justice Winslow. Price increase a little bit, but if you're going to tell me he's going to play 31 minutes and throw up close to 30 DK points, he's clearly in play at 4.4. Kelly Olynyk was not impressed with how he played, so I'll probably back off there. Again, if you want to use him, by all means, but not my cup of tea. Bam Bam. Good spot for him last game against the Lakers. Again, they got rolled. If you told me it was a Bam night, would I be shocked? No, but just a GPP guy for me. Pretty much it from the Miami side. Obviously, with these two guys still out, a lot of guys in play. So I think you can pick and choose. Not as good of a spot as it was against the Lakers, though. So other games in play. Doesn't necessarily need to go 3-4 deep on Heat guys. As far as the Pistons are concerned, not looking at too much from Detroit. I think my dude Dwight Bikes is in play just because he's 3.5 and he seems to be playing consistent minutes and throwing up 20 to 25 DK points. Fine with it. Definitely not a place I'm running to. Reggie Bullock, sure. Just like we said yesterday, if you have 4 or 5 left, sure. I mean, I'm not running there by any means. No. And then the big guys, fine with Drummond. Am I running there? No. I'd rather spend my money elsewhere. I'd rather have Jokic in this spot. Blake Griffin, I mean, the price is low, but the production just isn't there. So I'm not using Griffin. I'm really not using any guys from Detroit here. So I think you can kind of look at this game from the Heat side of things and move on. All right, now we got a really good game here. Boston at Houston. Looking at the Houston side of things, I got a lot of interest in Clint Capella here at 7K. Priced right. Boston gives it up to big men. High upside. I love him in GPPs. Fine for cash. Like the price. Love the matchup. Rock and roll with some Capella here. I like Harden's price here. Not the matchup I want. I do like the price, though. So if you want to play Harden, go for it. Probably not for me. I'd rather use LeBron. But, again, Harden's cheaper. If you want to go there, it's James Harden. Chris Paul, talk about price decrease. He's under 8K now. Just hasn't been doing it recently, and this isn't the matchup I would expect him to get going. So not my cup of tea there. Then we've got kind of the outside guys on Houston. If you told me Gordon had a day, would I be surprised? No. Ariza. You know, with Ryan Anderson out, I mean, Ariza could be in play. I do think that Capella will get the full workload. Thing about Houston is they're outside of their big three, and I'm including Capella in there. It's hard to choose guys from them because they really let Harden and Chris Paul run the show. So if you want to use some of these pieces, by all means, but there's no other guy I'm running to. The guy I love from this game is Capella, and I will be lock and loading Capella in my lineups tonight. From the Boston side, huge pace increase for them. Good spot to use Boston, guys. I like Kyrie here. I think Kyrie is great in cash. I think this is an upside spot for Kyrie and GPPs. Wouldn't be shocked if Boston ended Houston's winning streak. Boston's a good team. They need a big win. I think Kyrie balls here. Cash game, GPP, NBA Live, 2K, you name it, play Kyrie Irving. Then you've got guys like Jaylen Brown, who I think is more than in play here at 5'6". Marcus Morris in play here at 5'3". Terry Rozier in play here at 4'8". Not necessarily a guy I'm running to, but in play. A lot of these Boston guys are in play for me here. I usually don't play Boston too much, and I'm not going to go 3 or 4 deep on them. But I will use Kyrie and another piece probably, depending on my lineup construction. Al Horford's kind of fallen out of favor recently. Not sure why. I guess the blowout has something to do with it. But Just don't really like what I've seen from him lately. Even in, when they played Memphis, he only had 16 points. At the Knicks, the Knicks is his highest at 35. Not feeling it until he shows it to me. Tease is questionable here. He had been playing really well. So if you want to roll with some Tease, if he's playing in full go, I'm about it there. Greg Monroe, it was a nice call by Ryan for him to play a little bit more. Not sure if that was Tease or the blowout, but nonetheless, he put up about 24 DK points. So fine with it there. God, I forgot Tatum. Yeah, I'm not going to Tatum there. I like the perimeter and guard guys for Boston. Again, when I'm looking at this game, I'm plugging in Kyrie and Capella. I think you can use other pieces there. But those two guys I'm definitely rolling with. The reason I like filling in with pieces from this game is I think this is a game, a high-scoring, good game. Got a lot of interest in it. Moving on to San Antonio, Los Angeles. Lakers are playing some damn good ball right now. So while I thought they would get rolled by the Heat, they rolled the Heat. Damn impressed with how they've been playing. Winners of 4 in a row. Last game on a road trip right here. San Antonio not playing great. Would I be surprised if San Antonio just said, hey, we need a big win, we're going to roll on the Lakers? No. But the Lakers are just playing better than San Antonio right now, as crazy as that is. So we'll start with the Lakers side here. The guy that's just playing possessed is Julius Randle. He had a monster first half against the Heat. Actually surprised he didn't have more DK points than that. Rock solid cash game guy. Do I love the matchup? No. Don't think there's GPP upside, but cash game guy for sure. Lonzo, any format here. I think, with Aldridge out, we might see a little faster paced game. We saw Los Angeles really dictate pace in Miami. Wouldn't be shocked if it happened again. Fire up some Lonzo if you want. KCP, all about it, especially once we hear about Ingram, who didn't look good at the end of that game. Now he's questionable here. I would be surprised if he played. So that just raises my interest in KCP, in Lonzo, and all these Lakers guys, because it's just one man down on the totem pole. IT coming off his best game as a Laker, all about it at 5-5 if you want to go there. Again, the matchup's not great, but it wasn't great against the Heat. The Lakers are really dictating pace right now. So I can get on board with a bunch of Lakers guys. Again, I'm probably sticking to Randall and Cash. And then I think there's other guys definitely in play. If you want to go depending on Ingram, I think Lonzo's in play here in Cash, GPPs. I like KCP's price. I like IT. I like a lot of these Lakers guys, and it's surprising because I don't like the matchup. And again, this is another one where I wouldn't roll like 3 or 4 Lakers guys deep here in San Antonio, because I wouldn't be surprised if San Antonio just put their foot down. But I think you can roll at least 1 or 2 of them, no problem here. From the Spurs side of the ball, doubtful here. So obviously Aldridge being out, and let's see what's up with Pau Gasol. He's questionable also. Really got to wait and see on Gasol here, because if he's out, Bertans becomes a really, really good option who's in play even with Gasol out, with Aldridge out. King Joffrey becomes firmly in play if both those guys are out. 4-3, he'll be hella popular, but I think you just play him in cash, and it's hard to get away from a GPP. It's hard to even do a GPP fade for me. Excuse me, I can't talk right now. If Gasol and Aldridge are out, because the role will just be so good. I do think you can also look at a bunch of Spurs here. Dejounte Murray coming off a really good game against New Orleans. Before that, a really good game against Cleveland. Another really nice matchup for him. All about Dejounte Murray here. He's probably my favorite piece of the Spurs. I like him a lot. Rudy Gay looked really good last game against the Pelicans. Fire me up some Rudy Gay. Again, we talked about the cheaper guys. I prefer Gay to Danny Green. Obviously, that could change on a game-by-game basis. I just like what I saw from Gay over these two guys, Anderson and Green, more. So I'm gonna gravitate Rudy Gay's way, even at the little bit more expensive price tag. Just really like what he did last game, and he's a guy that I like to ride when the iron's striking hot. So I'll ride that hot hand with Rudy. Patty Mills, no thank you. All Dejounte Murray for me. Manu at 4K, sure. They're going to need a scoring punch with Aldridge out, especially if Gasol's out. He's always a nice one-off for 4K for me. Besides that, no on Parker. I forgot about Lopez on the Lakers side. No. So, yeah, I think there's quite a few options here. Dejounte Murray, Lonzo Ball, Julius Randle, Laverne, Bertans, all in play here. So, as you guys can see with injuries and at the more the day goes on, more spots are opening up. So, the slate is a nice one. Plenty of places to go. OKC Portland, I really like this game from an NBA perspective. Don't love it from a DFS perspective. Coming off a back-to-back, which was actually a really tough game like we thought in Phoenix. Score of 8. OKC won by 8, but that score is a little misleading. It was a really tight game the entire time. If you told me Westbrook balled again, would I be surprised? No, it's Russell Westbrook, and I know him and Lillard have that little all-star game beef-ish going. So I think this could be a one-on-one battle here. The problem is, besides Westbrook, there's no one I'm really running to on OKC here. Paul George is too expensive. Adams is a guy that, I like, but do I love him here? No. Do I think he's fine? Sure. Melo, no. I'm not going to Melo here. Hasn't touched 30 in a minute. And then besides that, OKC's, secondary pieces just aren't very good. So if you want to roll Westbrook, go for it. But I'm probably going to spend my money elsewhere here. From the Portland side, I like Dame a lot. I think he's got this game circled after Westbrook talked a little trash about his all-star appearance, just playing some of the best ball in the league. He's a top 5 MVP candidate for me right now. So I like Dame quite a bit here. I think he balls in this spot. Price has gotten a little bit lower. Fine with it. CJ, I'm using Dame. Dame seems to be the one playing the best ball right now. Nurk, GPP only. Don't love it. Sure. Al Farouk. Meh. Outside of that, and we always talk about this with Portland, not really many places to go. Sure with Ed Davis, but I'd like him a lot better at 3-3 than 4-3. Again, I like Dame a lot, but I also like a couple other guards better. So this might be a game that I don't have much exposure to. That's fine. It's fine. Utah, Sacramento. Last game of the night. Man, this game has some serious question marks. First off, I was talking to Ryan about this the other day. We're just not going to know about Sacramento most days until after lock because they're doing weird stuff with their lineup. Randolph sits. I heard they're going to let their veterans decide closer to tip who wants to rest that day. That's no help to us. Cauley Stein is doubtful here. So there's definitely places to go with the Kings big men. But the problem is we don't know who's going to play and who's not. So Randolph, for instance, didn't play last game. Do I think he'll play? Yeah, but am I positive he'll play? No. The guys that I'm pretty sure are going to play here are Scal, who is fine, but a guy I'm definitely not running to, especially in GPPs, and Kufis, who actually has more upside than Scal, and I think is fine here. Obviously, if we learn more about Randolph, that'd be great. Assuming we don't, I think he's fine. Again, and I know this is a theme, I'm not running there simply because we just don't know what's up with Sacramento. Not a great matchup for them either. So do I like Fox? Yeah, but not against Utah 5,700 when we talked about all those other guards I liked. Buddy Buckets. Sure, we've got Utah coming off a back-to-back. If you want to go there, I guess, by all means, do what you do. Man, Bogdan coming off a really nice 40 ball. Again, am I fine with Bogdan here? Sure. This is not a game I have much interest in. I don't like that. I don't really like the late games, but that's okay. It doesn't really matter when the game starts. Actually, it doesn't matter at all when the game starts, as Ryan and I like to talk over. And I'm actually just going to force pieces in here because they're playing later. From the Utah side, again, coming off that back-to-back that got a little personal physical against Minnesota, I think Utah just rolls here. It could be a number of different ways. Rubio, still waiting for him to come back to playing how he was. Gobert, big man against Sacramento, coming off a monster game, 58. I like me some Gobert a lot. I like the 7K Capella and the 7-4 Gobert quite a bit here as center options. We'll probably have a lot to do with both of them. Again, if we find out about Randall, I think he's in play because Cauley Stein's out. But again, if we don't, it's too big of a risk. I assume he'll play, but we just don't know. They're not playing for anything there. Favors, no. Sorry, I got back on Sacramento there real quickly with Randolph, but just wanted to touch on that. Other guys from Utah, Crowder. No. Again, this is a game, I wouldn't really call it a Manny special because I like Gobert. And then if we find out more about the Sacramento side, then there could be some interest there. But as of now, this is not a game I'm really looking towards. You've got a much better Utah team who's actually well rested. I know they played last night, but they had a few days off before that. Playing a Sacramento team that's just not talented enough to compete here, in my opinion. I see Utah kind of rolling in this spot. And I think this game is only close if it's a really low-scoring game. So just not a game I have too much interest in besides Gobert. Again, like I said, Kuvas in play, and you've got a full range of guys if we hear more about Sacramento. But besides that, I'm kind of just sticking to the other games we talked about. Some guys in really good spots. That Lakers-Spurs game is really intriguing to me the more I look at it, and I like that Boston-Houston game. Memphis-Orlando also. So a few games to look at here. I know I'm excited to dive in more in the slate, watch some college hoops. Tourney, we got Michigan State, real pumped for that game. Penn State, Purdue, college basketball all over, NBA tonight. So it's a good sport today. The next 3 weeks are some of the best 3 weeks in sports. So I know I'll be enjoying it over here. Hopefully you guys do the same. Again, if you want more info, more content, more videos, sign on to DFS5pack.com. We're crushing it. And have a happy Saturday, guys. Thank you.